Hey, ninth grade. So we've been learning about the Renaissance. We're embarking on a unit over the Renaissance, and I've got a cool website that we're going to do some stuff with. Normally we watch a video called The Medici made by PBS, and I can't really do that because my video's at school and I don't believe it's online. I'll look for it and see if I can find access to it somewhere, but there is a cool website where they have documented a lot of information about the Renaissance. So I'm going to actually share my screen right now. I will give you written instructions of how to get to these places, but it's essentially pbs.org, empires, the Medici. But we're going to click on the Renaissance button. And when you do that, it comes up with a nice overview telling you the history of the Renaissance and some information. And so first up, it looks at art, and it talks about how we progress from two-dimensional to three-dimensional art. We begin to see realism with our subjects, and we also break away from religious traditions. And so there's a lot of movement and change from medieval art, mostly ecclesiastical, meaning of the church, and then information. The new art is going to be portraits, kings, landscapes, a variety of different types of art. Not that there still won't be religious tones, because absolutely there will be. The Sistine Chapel and those types of things. Raphael's Sweet Face Madonnas, The Last Supper. So still plenty of religious art, but we do see a shift. And so after you look at this paragraph on art, each artist mentioned is underlined. They also have tabs over here. So I'll just give you one example. You can click on Botticelli, and then it has a biography on Botticelli, and then you can go to his artwork. And so you've got a gallery that you can bring up. You can make this full size. I'm going to shrink it back down, and you can click through the different artwork of Botticelli. And so then you can either use the back arrow to go to the main page where we were, and then you can click on Donatello. Donatello gives us our first freestanding sculpture. He worked mostly in bronze, and his David is very different than Michelangelo's David. And so you can read about some of the nuances and differences there. Again, using the back button to go to the main Renaissance page. And so I'm going to have you look through all of the artists listed here in this paragraph. I think there's a few more that are listed as well. I do want you to look at Raphael, and I do want you to look at Ghiberti and those listed here. You don't need to take notes per se, but just get a little education on art. And then I'm going to have you move and look at architecture. So outlined in your book there's two competitions in architecture. One is going to be over the doors at the baptistry, and Ghiberti's going to win that and defeat Brunelleschi. Brunelleschi's upset. He goes to Rome. He learns a lot, and he comes back and he will build the Dome of Florence and win that competition. So you can click on Brunelleschi, and here click on Ghiberti, and here are the doors at the baptistry. And so again, I'll give you some written instructions, but I do want you to look at both Ghiberti and Brunelleschi. There's the dome in Florence that Brunelleschi is famous for. And then, as I said earlier, Donatello is also a sculptor. So I'm going to go back to the main Renaissance page. So looking up in art, Botticelli, Gazzoli, Michelangelo, Leonardo, Raphael, Donatello, and Ghiberti, and then looking at Brunelleschi, and then science, architecture and science. So of course, Leonardo da Vinci is most known for his notebooks, but also known for his artwork. And so again, you can click on a gallery of art, you can make it large and click through different art in the gallery. And then going back to the Renaissance, and then Galileo, poor Galileo. So read about Galileo and his contribution to science. So that should keep you busy today, looking at the overview of the Renaissance, then in art, and I want you to click on each of the names in this list, and then looking at architecture and science and looking at these 3 names as well. And that's all we'll do for today. And then further on, we'll get into politics and into religion. So hopefully a little bit different than just reading in your chapter and answering questions. We will get to that because we do need to know these individuals, but I thought looking at the art and architecture this way would be a nice diversion from our typical lesson. So let me stop sharing, get back on here, and this is Thursday's lesson. So Friday is Good Friday. So we have a holiday, so no schoolwork, and Easter, of course, is coming. And so I hope that you have a wonderful time with your family, get outside, enjoy God's creation, but also contemplating Jesus's death on the cross in our place, covering our sin, and his resurrection on Sunday, overcoming death and overcoming sin so that we might be called the children of God. Happy Easter.